in 2008, my hip was just killing me, and I couldn't turn on my left hip, so I went and saw a doctor, orthopedics, and he said, what's going on here? And I said, well, I got pain in my left hip. I can't really turn on it. And he looked at my X-rays, all stuff, and he goes, you need total hip replacement. I was like, hey, yeah, right. I'm 36 years old. I was 32 at the time, whatever. And he said, no, you've got arthritis of a 60-year-old, 3 bone spurs, a cyst, and no cartilage in your left hip. I had arthritis in my right hip, but my left one was the main one. And so he said, you need surgery like now. And so I was like, nah, thanks, whatever. And so I went and saw a second doctor, and he said the same thing, same exact thing. And so they recommended this arthroscopic stuff by this guy in Nashville. And I called him up, and the lady said that I'd be down for 3 to 6 months. I couldn't play golf for however long after that, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, gosh, to just have it cleaned up and be gone that much, that's not really what I want. I would rather just have it cut off and have a new one. So then I went and saw these folks in Atlanta as a last resort. They work with 200-300 other athletes. They worked with Terrell Owens when he broke his leg and was ready for the Super Bowl. Hines Ward got hurt right before his Super Bowl. They had him ready for that, and so I went and saw them, got their kind of last opinion. I wanted to, talk to folks that work with million dollar athletes, that these major teams are throwing their athletes to. And, they agreed with everything that the other doctors said, but they thought that through their rehab system that they could, get me back playing without surgery. Sure, I'd have my good days, bad days, but as far as my range of motion, they really felt like they could get my range of motion. Pain-wise, they weren't sure because of the bone spurs and that cyst. But so I went through 3 months. The guy wanted me to move to Atlanta, and I had, a young newborn little boy, and I wasn't about to do that. So every morning, every Monday and every Friday, their office was on the north side of Atlanta, which is 3.5 hours from my house. So every Monday and every Friday, I would get up at 4:30, get in the car, drive. I'd be, sitting in traffic to Atlanta. I'd go there and I'd work with them for 2 hours and go through all the rigors that they wanted me to. Then I'd get done there, haul tail over to this gym where they work out guys for the combine, NFL combine, work out for 2 hours, get in my car, get stuck in Atlanta traffic, and I get home by 11 o'clock to midnight. I did that every Monday and every Friday for 3 months. Didn't swing a club, didn't do anything. They said I could start hitting wedges about 3 weeks before my first tournament that I had planned on making it back for. So I was doing that, just hitting some chip shots, and then I played in a mini tour event leading up to my first nationwide event, and the tournament started on Tuesday, and on that Monday was the first time I'd hit above a wedge, and which is a little bit crazy, but I actually finished second that week. My short game was incredible because I hadn't been able to do anything but chip and putt, but I was pain-free, and that whole process was a long process. It was hard. I certainly had my questions throughout the whole drive back and forth from Atlanta. Should I be doing this? Is it going to work? Should I just have it cut off? But I just trusted what the doctor said. I gave it 110%. I did everything that they asked me to do. And when I hit that first 7-iron and it didn't hurt, it was like tears in my eyes, because all that hard work, from 3 months prior when I was sitting here, wondering if I'd ever play golf again, or at a level that I knew I could. There was so much doubt, and for me it was a big risk, because I had 3 doctors tell me that I need hip replacement surgery, and I had one doctor say that they could get me around it, and I kind of put my faith and my trust in them, and just did everything I could. It was a huge sacrifice. I mean, every Monday and Wednesday, I'd be gone from 4:30 to basically midnight. That's time away from the newborn. That's a long day. You're a zombie the next day, because you've had such a tough day and long days. I mean, not really tough. But just throughout those drives back and forth. Times were tough. Times are tough now. People struggle, and the economic times now are just rough. And I was looking at it. I didn't have any money. I was a nationwide tour guy, and gas prices were unbelievable, and had a newborn, and I was spending a lot of gas money back and forth, doctor bills, visits. So I was spending a lot of money, and I didn't have any income coming in, because I wasn't obviously playing in any tournaments, and it was tough. But it was something that I knew if I put 110% in, that's all I could do. If it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, then God will show me some other avenue that that might work out for me. So I put my trust in Him, my faith, and the whole process, and just wanted to just give it my all. And it was tough, but it all worked out. I had a great 2009 season. I was able to just kind of fight through that adversity and all those doubts and struggles and all that stuff, and obviously that led me to where I am now. It's 2012, and I'm spending my 3rd year on the PGA Tour, and I think if I hadn't gone through that, if I'd given it 75%, then I probably wouldn't have had the year that I had in 2009. But I gave it my all. It was all I could do. I did my own rehab, my own stretching, going to sea, and getting as much therapy as I could in my little small town, the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, and just did everything I could, threw all my eggs in like one basket, and I'm just very fortunate that it worked out. But just like I said, just very, very blessed, that things work out. And America's tough. It's the greatest place in the world, obviously, but times are tough and folks are struggling, and I'm very blessed to have a job that allows me to enjoy some of the finer things in life, or the simple things in life, really for me, and that the simple things in life is just time with my family. I'm certainly gone a lot, but there's not many dads that can take off 2 months or 3 months. My season ends in November, and all my buddies call me a big bum because all I do is hunt and fish. But I have to remind them that I was gone 7 weeks in a row or 8 weeks in a row, and I didn't tuck my kids in at night, and I didn't pet my dog. I didn't do any of that stuff, So, but it's hard to see sometimes the amount of money that we can make each week, and you've got folks, close friends, family members struggling. You certainly feel guilty about it a lot of times, and but at the end of the day, this is my job. I'm very, very fortunate to have a job that allows me to be able to make the money that we can make. The one thing about my job that I do like is I earn every dollar. I earn X amount of dollars because I beat X amount of guys. We don't have these guaranteed contracts like some of the other sports where, it's just upfront money. I could play golf this year and not make a dollar. If I miss every single cut, I'm not making any money. And so that's the great thing about I mean, our sport, it's every dollar's earned, but it is hard to see, like I said, so many people in America struggling, and you know, I'm a really reserved guy. I'm not flashy. Like I said, I wear jeans and boots and camouflage hats, and you know, folks don't know I have $2 in my name, and that's how I want it. You know, folks build and buy these big old huge homes, and we have a nice home, but it's nothing like a lot of the folks out here have. But it's perfect for us. We're simple people. We aren't flashy. I don't care about name brands. My wife doesn't care about name brands. That's not who we are. We buy something because we like it, not because of what the tag says. Price is definitely an issue. You know, I mean, we're not cheap, but we're not just going to buy something because we can buy it. Sure, I mean, like I said, I'm very fortunate. I have a job that allows me to buy things I want, but I'm not going to just buy it just to be macho guy and be able to buy something. But we're just simple people, and I think, especially when times are tough like this in America, and I think that's the last thing people need is for guys to be going around flashing fancy things and throwing money away when, you know, you got some people working really, really hard and not getting a lot out of it. So it's something I'm very, very blessed.